Hey, what's up, everybody? BDF44 coming at you with another video. All right, I would have very easily stayed in the house. Feeling rather lethargic today. Stayed in yesterday. Did a lot of art. Did a lot of meditating. Nothing too bad. Honestly, it was. I'm actually feeling a lot better as far as my stomach's concerned. Today's one of the first days I haven't had any issues with my stomach over the last 8 days, 9 days in a row. It was a lot of problems, but I feel pretty much 100%. Took a couple days off to just reflect a little bit and pray. I've been really in a deep meditation, sort of like I used to back when I worked at this place called Park Place. I meditate pretty much every night before doing a graveyard shift. That's how I did it. And I've just been doing a lot of preparation for what's ahead, of course, for my grandfather's funeral. That's coming up on Monday. And gonna spend the weekend basically with my uncle and try to find a suit on Saturday, which is gonna keep me from the Laker game on 3 p.m., which is, I don't know, it is what it is, but I'll be ready for the night's game. But just trying to maintain my mindset, dealing with everything I got going on, and in the interest of just trying to stay closer to God during difficulties. That's really what it's about. And asking him what, how best to do what's ahead and handle everything in front of me. So the good thing is I don't have to worry about the clothing. That situation was straightened out. That was part of the concern for me, is just not having anything to wear. I threw away all my suits except for like one pair of slacks and some button-ups that I wear on a regular basis, black button-ups that you probably see me wear, and then a tie that I kept. Other than that, I didn't have the shoes and nothing like that, but my uncle's gonna take care of that on Saturday. I prefer to take care of it tomorrow, to be honest with you. I know he's gonna be in town tomorrow. I don't know what his schedule's like. I'd prefer to take care of it tomorrow because that'll allow me an opportunity to do what I do on the Laker tip 3 o'clock. But the schedule is for us to do it on Saturday. So this is one of those situations where I miss a couple games, man, because I think the good thing is, though, as far as the Detroit game that's coming up, I will still be in I'll still be up there in Fresno on Monday. We're not coming back till Tuesday, so that might, depending on how the day's shaking out, I could probably make sure I'm in front of a TV at 7:30, whatever time the game starts. I can make sure that I'm in the hotel room. I'll just tell everybody I got something to do, And plus, we're gonna probably want to get some rest because we're probably gonna leave out on Tuesday fairly early so we can beat the traffic. So I can imagine we probably want to get out of there probably before 9 o'clock. My uncle's a military man, so no telling how early he will want to move. So, I can see us wanting to be back in the hotel by the time the game starts anyway on Monday night. Not to mention that is the day of the funeral, so it's like we're gonna do all the festivities, get up early in the morning, do the funeral, and then the festivities afterwards at like a hometown buffet type thing. Probably end up at somebody's house. We're probably gonna want to be in the hotel so we can get the rest necessary for the trip the next day. I don't know how long my uncle's gonna be in town after that. So I know he has the condo over here in Inglewood, so they may spend some time here. They may stay through Christmas. I'm not really sure what their plans are, but he comes in on Friday, so that's kind of how my weekend's gonna be. It's just kind of hanging out with him. I know he wants to cook some gumbo on Saturday. I believe he said he wants to do that, so I'm not really sure what my day's gonna be like, but it's my next couple of days. It might be wise for me to spend the night over his house on Saturday so that we can just leave out on Sunday morning. That might make sense. I don't know how they want to do that. Far be it for me to know the freeways well enough to say that he's closer picking me up here and then leaving out of this side of town, or me spending the night there and leaving out Sunday morning on that side of town. So I'm not really sure how they want to do that. I really don't know. But we definitely want to be there Sunday so that we can already be ready for everything. Because if we were to try to leave out here Monday, the funeral's at 9 a.m. we would have to leave LA at like 3 a.m. just to get there on time. That doesn't make any sense at all. So that's what it is. We're gonna leave out Sunday at some point, get up there, probably hang out with some family on Sunday, maybe eat dinner at somebody's house or something, and then probably just, like I said, be in the hotel early so that we can get up early for the funeral. So, for me, I'm not a working person, so like a lot of people get up regularly at 6:30 in the morning. I used to get up early, and at various points in my life, I get up at different times in the hours and stuff. But right now, I'm used to getting up at like 8:30. So I'm gonna need some extra sleep just to get up and not find myself yawning throughout the course of the funeral, because that is exactly how that's gonna go. We have to be there probably about 8:30. My body just ain't used to that right now. But it is what it is, man. I will get used to it though. I'll be there. And I posted a few pictures that I had. I told my uncle that unfortunately most of the stuff that I think would have been relevant in regards to pictures from my side are in storage. And I don't have access to that right now, so I can't put all the pictures up that I know that I have of my grandfather. But I did find a few of them in my cloud, and so I put up there what I had. But it ain't nothing recent, nothing too serious. I had like him in a karate gi from back when he was a young man. I got his wedding photo, which I'm sure they have plenty of that version of that photo. And then I put up a picture that I had of myself, my Aunt Cheryl, who passed of cancer many years ago, and him back in like the 80s when I was like a little kid. So, yeah, man, it's not much, but I did post them on the forum where we were asked to post pictures, and so I try to at least do my part there. Hopefully at least one of those pictures they don't have, because I'm sure the other two they got plenty of that one. So there may be some more photos I can scrounge up somewhere else that I just thought about. But aside from that, man, it's really just preparing for the situation there, man. I'm not really certain where my head is going to be. I'm used to doing things alone. You know how I am. You guys see me. I got a nice little routine, and trying to incorporate being social a bit more is going to be something that I'm praying for the ability to do comfortably, But I'm in a better space than I was when I first got in this situation. A lot of anxieties and stuff like that ain't going on, so I'm good to go in that regard. But as far as like just having incorporated people into my life every day and kind of doing some of the social stuff that maybe might be asked of me, I haven't done it. You know what I mean? That's what it really comes down to. Haven't done it in a while. I've been a nomad doing things on my own. So it just is what it is. But that's what a lot of the meditation's been about, is just preparation for not only the funeral itself, but for everything going on, everything that has to happen in the situation. So that's really what it comes down to, man. I'm hopeful that the days will go by really well. It's one of those things where my uncle has done so much for me over the last year, especially, and so I want to make sure that I'm who I need to be, representing the family well, helpful and mindful of what would be asked of me and what his needs would be for myself. He's going through bereavement in a different way than myself, you know what I mean? So, I'm hopeful that he will also be comfortable and in a good space for all that he needs to do and coming down here to California. You know what I mean? It's a lot of thoughts, and that have nothing to do with me, that I hope, that I'm praying and meditating on, that'll work out for him and as well, and my aunt as well. So it is not easy times for this to be happening right before Christmas. I think it means something different for him, because he was much closer to my grandfather. This is something that's gonna potentially ruin Christmas every year, you know what I mean? That kind of thing. You hate seeing this type of thing happen so close to the holidays, but for myself, I'm just handling it. I've lost a lot. I've coped with a lot in regards to death and close family members and stuff like that. So, I'm okay for the most part. I hate to sound callous, but that's exactly what it is. I'm fine for the most part. So, if anything, I'm just looking at the task ahead and the drive up and the drive back, and just being asked to tag along with certain things that I probably would not normally do. And I'm hopeful that the Lord will make it so that I feel exactly the way I'm supposed to feel, so that I can be as present with everyone as I would otherwise be asked to be, man. Like normal people, you know what I mean? Like you would probably be around a bunch of family. instead of distant and spacey and all that other stuff that comes with being alone for long periods of time. So that's really what it is, man. I'm thinking a lot about that. And as my grandfather passed away, I've been thinking a lot also about kind of finding the right person for myself and continuing on the family lineage that I carry, that I carry alone on my grandfather's side. That's been a big part of my meditation as well, getting 40 years old, meet the right person, get it right the first time, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. So a lot of that's been on my mind too. Just how long is it supposed to drag out, man? How long is it supposed to go, with me being in this way? And hopefully it straightens itself out, man. Hopefully ain't too much to it in regards to what the Lord wants to do and how long it's supposed to take or whatever the case may be, man. I don't know, but that's part of the meditation too, man. So, it just is what it is, man. Life is changing quickly, going into 25, middle of the decade or whatever you call that. A lot of things change, man. So, just gotta keep up with them. And, just ask for guidance where you can find it. That's really what it is for me, man. So, I'm hopeful that everybody is enjoying their weekend, man. Or what is this? What is today? It's Thursday, right? This week. And we prepare for celebrating my uncle and my grandfather, excuse me. And we just deal with it. Deal with the hard times, man. What can I say? Just deal with it. These are the times that allow you to get closer to family, closer to God. That ain't always a bad thing. Sometimes it takes bad things to get you closer to the people that need to be closer to you and away from things that otherwise you probably should be staying away from anyway. And in my case, that's not really the thing, to be honest with you. I've been kind of doing things the right way, I guess, for my standards. But just the same, it's going to be good to be around my uncle. Don't know how many more times I'm going to have it in the flesh with him, He's getting older now. He lives on the other side of the country. I've been having health problems as well, so it's like he doesn't really know. This may be one of the most important times for us, to get close in this era of my life, get to know where we're at, and I think that's something that is going to play out a lot better than otherwise my anxiety would tell me it would. You know what I mean? But I'm pretty comfortable, to be honest with you. All things considered, I'm feeling a lot more comfortable about going into this situation than I would have many times before this moment. So I just thank God for that, for the wellness mentally. Speaking of which, I spoke to my therapist. It was funny because, as God would have it, I had called her office, set up an appointment, finally got a hold of somebody to set up an appointment. I hang up the phone and I get a call from her office, and it was her. She didn't know I had set up that appointment. It was just a coincidence. So I'm like, wait a minute, are you calling me to tell me that I have to cancel that? She didn't even know that I had appointed. She was just saying, she hadn't spoken to me, and I was like, yo, I just hung up the phone with your front office. I set up an appointment. So that was really cool. Kind of laugh about that. I told her what went on since I last spoke with her a little bit, and set up the appointment for the 16th at 1:30. Could have had it at 10 on the 10th, but it was at 9 a.m. Like I said, I'm not up for trying to leave out of the house that early, man. I'm cool, bro. Not in this era of my life. And so for me, it's just prefer to keep something in a way that allows for me to just get myself in a space where I can have the comfortable walk down the street that I want to have without getting up like 6 in the morning, 5 in the morning to do it. My little routine and all that. So just like as I say with everything else, man, I'm a creature of habit, and I prefer to go to her office at like 1:30 on whatever given day. So that's what I set it up for, the 16th at 1:30. It's like almost a whole month from now, but I made sure that that's not going to be a day that I'm going to be leaving out of the unit, because that's what it was last time. I had set my appointment up for the same time I was going to be actually transferring from one hotel to the next, so there was no way I could do that. So yeah, man, it was good to finally get back in touch with her after like 2 months. Hadn't had a therapy session, but my thinking was, my family is counting on me to continue on this process, and I'm also counting on myself to continue working on my mental health. It would probably be the best show of myself to say that I have an appointment scheduled upon getting in my uncle's car and riding up to Fresno. since I haven't seen my therapist in a month and a half, that's a real important thing, you know. So I made sure that I had that scheduled. But other than that, man, it's the holidays. It don't feel like it. I'm not gonna lie to you. We're already at the 19th. It certainly doesn't feel like it. This month has sped by rather quickly for myself personally. But I can't say that I've been more active in getting exercise and stuff like that. I didn't do my 100th exercise yesterday. I opted to just meditate during the hour that I otherwise would have did it. I was deeply in that space of mind, and it felt like it was the right thing to do, give myself a little bit of a break, you know. But I had like 8 straight days of that. That was really good for me, and I have every intention of doing it again today. So to get back that streak and just try to get back into the active space of mind and physicality for myself. Not that I ever actually fall off from exercise, but there's a certain weight loss that comes with doing that exercise, a certain cardio, I guess you can say, that comes with that particular exercise for me. And when I'm not doing it with the way that my portions of eating, it just puts weight on my body. So that will always allow me to stay slim and get slim. So that's really what I'm hopeful to kind of enjoy in regards to that situation. It's just, if I do this as consistently as I've been doing it for the last couple of weeks, I'll get in the type of shape that I ultimately like myself being in. So after the Thanksgiving and all of that, the way we eat, some of the stuff that I've been having going on, it's just in my best interest to try to do more cardio if at all possible. So since I wasn't walking around, that's how I did it. So I feel pretty good, man. More stretching, continued additions to my crunches, continued push-ups, stuff like that. Has not slowed down at all. And I feel like I'm on the right track at this point. So yeah, man, that's really what's up with me. I did a lot of art yesterday, you know. Did a whole lot of art, just posted most of it just now. Did another playlist. Thought it was a pretty good one. K-List 405, that was done about 2 days ago. So that's up right now, ready to be listened to on Apple Music, BBF 44 at Apple Music. So, you know, just continuing on the consistency tip and trying to, at this point, just get a little outside exercise. I probably would have stayed in the house, as I was telling you guys, but I needed to go to the front desk and grab something, and also run out of bananas. So now we'll be going to somebody somewhere purchasing those, but I could have very easily stayed in the house today. It's just the kind of mood I've been in, which is not good for what I got ahead, but I ain't really felt like doing all this extra stuff that I usually do, but at the same time, it's right for me to do it right now. You know, it's a beautiful Thursday. The weather is nice. It's a little warmer than it has been, and so getting out is good for me right now. So other than that, it ain't a whole lot going on, man. Of course, we always talk about what's going on with the genocide in Gaza. And, you know, they're bombing schools. Last I checked, they bombed some schools yesterday, killed a bunch of kids as usual. You never get used to that, and yet at the same time, it does become familiar when you hear it every couple of days. They bombing a school, every couple of days they bombing this, they bombing that. And that's exactly what's happened over the last couple of days. Bombing orphanages, bombing anything they think children may be in, they're bombing. So, you know, Israel's continuing to decay their reputation too. That's at the same time, it's the word is spreading about who they are and what they're really about. It's a lot more common to see people saying negative things about them than it ever was before, and that's what's happening. They're continuing on this process, and they're continuing to show everybody what they're doing. And as new eyes become curious, they too are exposed to the real-time footage that comes with this thing. And so that's what's ending up happening. You have more and more people becoming more and more aware that the narrative that they've been fed by their media is trash, and that the people who are doing this have a certain history about them that's right there for you to learn about. And as you do, you start understanding the type of evil that they have going on in their situation, type of craziness that they ultimately engage in. And it's becoming more and more common for people to not be on their side. And so I think it's a good thing. For all it's worth, at least their reputation continues to sour, and more pressure is put on governments to back away from them. More pressure is put on corporations to stop doing business with them and stop being a part of them, and or whatever the case may be. So, that's what this does. It continues to raise awareness. You don't have to look in the past at footage of what it is they've been doing, because they're doing stuff right now. Take a look. That's really what it is for any new eyes. Just take a look. It's all over IG. It's all over your TikTok. That's why they're trying to get rid of TikTok now. Despite what they tell you, the reality is the only reason why they want to get rid of TikTok is because it's exposing exactly what's happening there in the Middle East. And the young people and the children, the ones who are going to be taking care of them when they're too old to take care of themselves, they're seeing these images in their phone in between Baby Shark photos or whatever the hell it is they're watching. So that's what people need to understand. They're not getting rid of TikTok for any other reason than it's exposing the truth about what they're doing. That's it. That's all. They wouldn't care nothing about TikTok if it was only what it is that ultimately people think is on there, which is kid stuff and people dancing around. That's not the only thing that's on there. It's people raising awareness every day, making names for themselves, raising awareness about the genocide. That's literally what they're afraid of being shown to the world any further. And since they don't have any regulations over that, or it's not something that they control, unlike Meta's properties, for which they have every bit of profit coming from, they want to regulate TikTok for that reason. So that's really what it is, man. That's something that's paid attention to. It's a lot of weird stuff going on in regards to just the class fights that's happening out there. I heard a guy canceled all of his employees' holiday pay or something, all of their holiday bonus pay, so he could buy himself a Lamborghini. And a couple of people actually got into that Lamborghini and defecated in it, and then like a whole fleet of his employees all quit at the same time. I heard of another thing. I don't know how true it was, but it was some type of boss got stabbed by one of his employees, that kind of thing. It's just, you know what I mean? I'm telling y'all, people are getting tired of classism, dude. They're getting tired of the notion that we're just supposed to work for billionaires while billionaires kick their feet up and pay us whatever they want to pay us. That is something that people are going to start seeing resistance for. And what's powering that resistance is the realization of the genocide in Israel, and Israel owning our government, more or less, and that we are not supposed to have any say-so about it or do anything about it, or that we don't have a right to protest it. Like, that's inspiring a different level of resistance within the people for their own struggles. I'm telling you. Israel's giving birth to all of the resistance all around the world, just by thumbing their nose at everybody and killing these people over there. I'm telling you, if they weren't doing that, none of this would be going on. I don't think any of this other stuff would be happening. I really don't. So, that's just my opinion on things. But, it is what it is, man. It's all in God's control, man. This year has been about exposing truths. We're seeing people fall. We're seeing people smear people. We're seeing people get revealed for being sickos. You're getting people coming out, standing up for things that you never seen people stand up for before. This is a different time we're walking into. I'm not sure what 2025 is going to provide us, but it's going to get real from here. I'm pretty certain. As more and more people become aware of what's going on around the world and how America and Israel benefit from so much horrors and several different genocides, including what's going on in Congo, for which needs more conversation. More people start to realize that it's the same people causing trouble all over the world. Like, literally, it's the same people. And they're also the ones that have been telling you who to believe in and who to trust and who not to trust. And then people are going to start, once that becomes a normal conversation in everyday households, then you're going to see a trickle-down effect that pulls people away from things that ultimately keep their minds cloaked. And the conversation and the interest is going to be in more and more in trying to rebel against that and eventually tear it to shreds. So that's what I'm waiting on. I'm just watching it all unfold. Just waiting for more and more people to wake up, It's frustrating to see this genocide prolonged. But like I said, the more they do it, the more new eyes are paying attention to the new things that they're doing. You know, that's what it really comes down to. So they can keep on acting like this, like there's no consequences for it. But what they're going to soon have to adhere to is that they're surrounded. And just like the rest of us are. If we all do a bunch of bad stuff while everybody's watching, when the word spreads, the walls close in. And that's really what it comes down to. They can act like they're chosen, like nobody gonna touch them for what they do, like nobody's gonna, divest from them, or that they can keep that from happening or whatever. They can do whatever they want. Vote martial law. You can do all types of weird stuff, put all types of laws in place, whatever they want to do, man. At the end of the day, the walls will close in on those who are doing this, and eventually it's going to be very tough for them to maneuver. No matter how many different things they try to do to get people to fall in line, it's going to get more and more difficult to do so. And that's what it comes down to. So I just want people to understand we're not losing faith over here. If anything, we're getting closer to God. We're getting closer to the understanding that one such exists and that he has intentions of his own. And maybe we don't understand what they are, but we need to stay focused on taking care of home. And that's really what I'm saying to you. It's getting easier and easier for me not to go toward things like liquor and weed, by the way. It's getting easier and easier because at the end of the day, you need your mind, man. In a world that's meant to confuse, you need your mind. I know a lot of people are trying to cope with stress and keep up with the Joneses, and they really like the feeling that comes with being high and all of that. But as a pothead of over 20 years who's been enjoying sobriety for the last year, kind of against his will as it pertains to would I have quit if my things weren't as difficult? No, I wouldn't have quit. I'm telling you, I'm better for this. I'm better right now for being sober because it's a lot of things that you need your mind for at any given moment. And as the world continues to change, as the country continues to wage war against the poor all over the world, it's going to be more and more incumbent for people to not be in spacey spaces of their mind. I'm telling you. It's going to be more and more important that we be sharp. And there are a lot of people who believe smoking weed and being drugs makes them sharp, but there's many people who believe that ain't aware of the fact that it doesn't keep them sharp at all. They just think they're sharp. You're not sharp. You're going to need to be, though. You're going to need to be able to maneuver through the future. I can tell you that. Those who don't have their brains, those who don't have their minds, those who are not quick and on point, a lot of them people are going to perish, man, with what's ahead. I can tell you right now. This ain't the world we're walking into. It's not going to be the world for pastimes too much, at least for a time. When this American Israel crap really starts to hit the fan, it's going to be more and more incumbent that you keep your head on the swivel, that you step out of your little comfort zones or whatever it is. Those who can't do that, they're going to be at risk in a different kind of way than what we're used to. That's what I predict is coming over the next 5 years. It's going to get weird. It's going to get really, really spooky around here. So that's why I'm telling people, get your head on straight, man. Get off them drugs if you on them. If you got an alcoholism issue, get off of that. Not simply because for your health, although that's one very important point, but because the world around you is going to start to get a bit more chaotic, in my opinion, as more and more people start to understand what fuels this thing and what those intentions are behind that entity that fuels everything that's around you. It is evil. Not hearsay evil, but kill a bunch of kids in the nighttime and dance about it evil. That's what a lot of what powers this country is really inspired by the opportunity to continue. And that's why when the karma hits, it's going to be incumbent on all those people who are high as hell, drunk as hell, and stupors and all of that, who can't think for themselves. It's going to be incumbent for them to sober up real quick. Let me tell you right now. And it's going to be incumbent upon you to sober up fast. And if you ain't going to be able to do that, you're going to lose money, you're going to lose opportunities, you may even lose your life. And I'm just being honest with you. Video 44, I thank you all for watching. I'm out.